Hey Canucks fans, thanks for waiting. I am Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clay Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary live. It's my post-game live stream on a night where the Vancouver Canucks lost 4-3 to the Edmonton Oilers. So I want to say a couple things. I'm going to riff for 5 minutes and then I will take all your questions. So please, yes, I know you guys want to rant, but give me 5 minutes. Give me my first 5 minutes, and then, as always, I will turn it over to all of you. First off, I want to say thanks to all my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Just Incredible, and nucksfan number 29. Thanks for your support, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my description. If you want to become a member, press the join button underneath this video or any of my videos, or check the memberships tab. I also want to say thank you. I know that you could be doing anything else right now. So whether you're in my neighborhood of Steveston, in Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, in the province, in the country, on the continent, or around the world, I thank you. Thank you, Raybo, for the $1 donation as well. I thank you for being here. You guys know I do not take you for granted. You guys know that I appreciate your loyalty. I know you could be doing anything else. You could be watching anything else or anyone else right now. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. The other thing I want to say is that I mentioned this, if any of you are on Twitter, up until today, I used to do a quick post-game recap that was only 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And the reason why I did it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and then I uploaded it to YouTube really quickly, and then I uploaded it to Twitter, because my account's not like a super amazing account, I can only do a maximum of 2 minutes and 20 seconds in my videos. But then I thought that was kind of weird because I was rushing my post-game videos just for the sake of Twitter, when really I should be focusing on my YouTube audience. So what I ended up doing is I went for a full 8 or 8.5 minutes today, and I didn't worry so much about posting on Twitter, rather focus on YouTube instead. So all to say, instead of rushing and trying to get here 10 to 15 minutes into my live stream, I'm actually going to set it for exactly 3 hours after puck drop. So 7 o'clock puck drop tonight Pacific time. Instead of 9:50 or 9:55, I set it for 10 o'clock, and that's perfect. That 20 minutes gives me a chance to record an 8 to 10 minute post-game recap, a proper one where I don't feel rushed, upload it, do the tagging, do the thumbnail, and then come on here calm. So that's what I wanted to do. So I hope that makes sense. And I would love your feedback on that later, once I start taking feedback in about 2 more minutes. But yeah, I'm going to try that. So instead of focusing on the Twitter crowd, who I still like, I really want to focus really on a not rushed, much more thoughtful post-game recap. And that's what I did tonight. And I'll stop saying this because you guys are going to think I have a complex. I do know that Rob Fay has his show on YouTube. I do know that it's growing, but I'm also very grateful for all of you. So there's one part of me, admittedly, I'm being very honest with you, very real. There's one part of me says I should start my stream right after the Canucks game, right when Rob Fay starts his, because I might lose too much audience if I wait too long. But no, I'm going to be confident in what I do. I'm going to be confident in the people that I'm with, i.e. you guys, my loyal subscribers. And if you want to watch him sometimes, that's cool. If you want to watch me sometimes, that's even better. And then I thought I'd rather do a more calm post-game recap, upload it, and start, even if it's half an hour after the game ends and Rob Fay is going for half an hour, that's fine. He'll end maybe a few minutes before me, and maybe we'll get some of his viewers here. So you guys might think I'm going to have a complex because I keep talking about it, but I do recognize, not competition, because I think we do two different things, and I'm grateful for what he does, but I'm grateful for all of you. Okay, I'm basically using up my whole 5 minutes because and then lastly I'll say subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, help me. I'm so close. I want to get to 6,000 by the end of this month, so I got to do that this week, but I only need about 60 more subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video. Don't like the fact that the Canucks lost, but like the fact that we are here together as a community talking about the Canucks after they lost. So I'd like to see that like number go up a little bit if you want to do that. And like I said, if you want to join as a member, you're welcome to do so as well. Ray Bro, thank you for the $1 donation. I only have 30 seconds left in my riff rant time, but that's okay. I'll just say this. Great start for the Vancouver Canucks, but you cannot give up a 3-goal deficit with 4 unanswered goals. You cannot give up a 2-goal lead heading into the third period, especially at home. even if there are no fans, especially if you're trying to track down this team for a playoff position. Okay, that's 5 minutes. If you already asked questions, sorry, I'm not going to get to them. Start asking them now. And thanks for being here. Gmod. Oh, actually, Mel's thoughts on Demko tonight. I thought he was okay. He's not the reason why we lost, but would have loved to see him make that first save on Cahoon that snuck through his armpit at the end of the first period. But I did say in my post-game recap, it wasn't a momentum killer. You always worry about a goal in the last 90 seconds of a period that's going to mess up the rest of the game. But no, it was a scoreless second period. By the way, you guys like my shirt? This is how I roll. I got so excited. I was confident. I thought if the Canucks were going to win tonight, then that's I would wear this shirt until they lost again. But they already lost. So Mel's, I thought Demko was okay. Gmod, Clay, we are as loyal to you as the owners are to Benning. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Gmod, and thank you for your membership as well. And by the way, thanks to all the mods out there as well. I don't have a lot, but I have enough to make it work. And you guys know I appreciate all of you. That was pretty funny about the loyalty. Thank you, Gmod. Ethan, is Green the problem now? When the team chokes 3 leads in a row and ends up losing the game, the coaching has to be an issue. Ethan, that's a fair comment. I still think Travis Green is well liked by his team, his players, by management. I don't know if he's the problem, but he's got to help be a part of the solution. I think that's a fair comment. I'm not sure if I agree completely, but I think that's a fair comment, Ethan. Fangirl, thoughts on Myers and Petey's goal tonight? Myers' goal was nice, kind of after Roussel took out the linesman. Patterson's goal was nice. It was a really nice play by Miller, actually, to get the puck back to him. A nice little backhand pass, and Patterson's goal on the backhand. Miller perplexes me. Did you guys see how unmotivated, how slow, how dejected he looked in the third period? Something's up with that guy. Clay, what are your thoughts on Aquilini's tweets now? Inferno says, do you think he'll live up to his word? Inferno, I do think he's going to live up to his word from a standpoint is I don't think he's going to make changes during the regular season. I really don't. That's my guess. Rohan, Jim Benning never... Clay, how's your day? Riley, it's been great. It was great. Thank you. I hope your day was good as well. Had a good day at work. Wow, we got 88 people in here. That's awesome. Or 86 people on a day that Canucks lost. Oh, by the way, hopefully you won't see any lagging too. I'm using a wire. I did get my 50-foot Ethernet cable, so unless Mickey trips on it or one of my kids trips on it, we shouldn't have any lagging today, which is good. Yes, we did lose to Alex Chason. Would you like to see the NHL do more Lake Tahoe games at other lakes? Races Fan Rocks, I think that's a good question. I think it's nice that they move these outdoor games around and try different venues. So whether it's Lake Tahoe or a different lake, a great lake, as long as they keep trying new things and keep learning from their mistakes, i.e. Blazing Sun. Nick says, I think Petey was good tonight. Oh, 150 points. That's good. I did not know that. Dante pointing out all the players we lost to. It's true. Tamer, debut hunter. I just woke from a dream that Vertanen had 3 assists. Woke up to another point in this game. Yeah, go back to sleep. No, I'm just kidding. Don't go back to sleep. But yeah, the dream sounds better than reality. Riley likes the shirt. Thank you, Riley. Clay, you still think the Nucks can make the playoffs? No. Honestly, this is the game that kind of convinced me that I already knew it was going to be tough. And I think I tried to express that realistic approach last game. But yeah, there's another 2 points that we should have had. And now we can only get 7 out of these 12 points. When I said we needed 9 or 10, no, I don't think they will make the playoffs. I want them to, but I don't think they will. Dexter, Edler takes a penalty at least a game time goal, but according to everyone on Twitter, the Canucks should re-sign him because he has good analytics, Clay. Yeah, so he's got that no movement clause, so he might out of Sutter, Ben, and Pearson. He's the one guy we won't be able to trade, but we can expose him. That's part of his contract. And yeah, no, I don't want him back. He's too old. We're up to I just jinxed myself. Now we're lagging. So that's my computer. It's not my internet. So that's what I learned right now. But that's okay. Hopefully you guys can still see me and that the stream is still going. But I saw the circle the lagging circle for a quick second. Yeah, but I do not think we need to re-sign Edler. I think he might retire because I don't know if he wants to play for another team. And then Quantum says, do you think Pearson and Vertano will get traded by the deadline? I think so. If they were smart and they try to recoup assets, at least for Pearson, trade him to a team that wants to make the playoffs or is in the playoffs. nucksfan number 29, Hall of Fame member, thank you. Donating another $10. Thank you, nucksfan. You certainly did not have to do that, but I appreciate you very much. And I'll be reaching out to you and all the Hall of Fame members to set up our personal Zoom chat later this month, probably on the weekend. But thank you for that donation, nucksfan. Really appreciate that very much. Left out to dry. Nicely done, Lukav. Nick, McDavid was wide open because that was a power play, admittedly. That was a power play and a bunch of one-touch passes. But yeah, he was so wide open. It's the one guy you don't want to be wide open, which is crazy. Toxic Fade says, do you think Benning's going to stay after this horrible game? Yeah, we kind of referred to Aquilini's tweets. I actually think Benning's safe for this season. It might not be what you want to hear, but it would be a bad look on Aquilini if he goes back on his tweets right now. Debut Hunter, Clay, why do we keep giving up these leads? What is causing us to be able to score in the first? But not anything. I actually think we're a fragile team. When you're fragile, you are not sharp mentally, and I think that's what it is with the Canucks. And bad luck, yes, but you got to make your own luck as well. Petter Hughes, Clay, your thoughts on Brendan Gallagher's disallowed goal? It seemed the Gallagher's pushing to Murray had time to reset. Yeah, that I don't think, and I think actually Gallagher referred to the fact that he got planted on his ASS, and then he still had time to get up. And yeah, I don't think that goal should have been disallowed. Dark Cloud wants to fire Green. Arjun, Clay, it's time to stop being positive and be realistic. Do you agree that we are in the playoffs? Yes, I'm sure you typed that before you heard my answer. I agree that it's going to be very, very tough. If the Canucks trade Besser, what would we get back for him? You would get another first liner or first round draft pick or maybe, or a prospect, but I'm not thinking about that right now. Inferno, Clay, your thumbs up profile picture is rubbing salt in the wound after this game. That talks about how positive I am, not the fact that I'm happy the Canucks lost. By the way, 113 people in here after Canucks lost. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Myers being Myers, taking penalties. Yep, you got it. Clay, who fires Aquilini? Rios, no. Unless there's a board. No, Aquilini, he's the owner of the team. You can't fire an owner. Like, the buck stops with him. So he'd have to sell the team, or I don't know, some people would have to do a major coup. I don't think you can't fire Aquilini because he's the owner. It's his team. Thoughts on Miller tonight? Dilsauce, indifferent. He had that one assist, -1, but looked really bad in that third period. Looked really tired and unmotivated. Nick, hey Clay, can you remind me why we're Canucks fans? These are the type of games that make me think that. Yeah, I can't judge anyone's fandom. I know I've been a Canucks fan all 46 years of my life. I've seen them come so tantalizingly close to winning the Stanley Cup, both in 94 and 2011. And they've had some great players. They have 2 really good ones right now, and a few complimentary pieces, but not a lot more right now. Fillmore, how come the stream doesn't start even though I was here before 10 to reload the browser? I don't know, Fillmore. I don't know. Hazard, do the Canucks need a trade to mix things up? I think they do, but none of their players have a lot of trade value, right? It's going to be a buyer's market this year for sure, given all the COVID, all the quarantining and everything. Sebastian, J-Pat said after the game that Green should be putting in Harlock, Michaelis, just see what we have. Beagle literally on the team because he kills penalty. Thoughts? I agree with that. I've been saying that they should put Harlock in for the past week or so. I like to see what Michaelis can do as well. Owen TV, another $7 donation. Thank you. Does this prove just how young the team is and how experienced other teams are? Also, hope you're well. God bless and sleep well. So, Owen, God bless you too. Yes, the team is young, but we got some experienced guys too. But our experienced guys aren't that good. Roussel, Sutter, Beagle. Eriksson. So Edler, Myers. So it's not just because we're young. I just don't think we have enough there altogether. Ernest, Clay, Travis Green is a lame duck coach. He won't be returning next season. Who would be a good fit? I was just going to say Gerard Gallant. A lot of people are talking about, and you mentioned that as well. I don't know if he's going to... Something tells me that Travis Green will be back, but maybe not if the Canucks keep losing like this. But I thought that it was going to be a no-brainer, but maybe not. Harmon, if one was to be traded at the end of the season, which would it be, Miller or Schmidt? I think it's Miller. I think you might get more for him, and you could argue we have more depth at forward, barely, than in the back end. So it might be Miller. Sammy, is this season just a blip? Can we come back next year? You think with some money coming off, Sutter, Edler, Pearson, and then next year Eriksson, Beagle, and Roussel, that the team can get better within a couple of years, but are we willing to suffer through those couple of years? Neil, no one's getting fired? I don't think so. Patrick, do you think it was worth trading a first-round pick for Miller? Could have dropped a top 4 D-man with that pick, and Miller's a pylon now. Yeah, it's easy to say that now, but we were all praising the trade last season, so I think we still got to give it a bit more time. Arjun's done with being positive. Luca, I have nothing wrong with being an optimist, but you have to mix in the realism. Yeah, and I think I do that. I don't sit here and say the Canucks are going to win the division or they're going to make the playoffs for sure. If you've been around, you guys have seen my mood and my tone change over the past 2 weeks for sure. Jeff, the playoffs are looking like a longer shot. Yes, indeed. Debut Hunter, the Canucks' least successful period since their inception started the day I became a Canucks fan. Can't help but feel a little superstitious. Tamer, you can feel superstitious. I don't believe in that stuff, but that's up to you. Thanks again, Nucks fan, for the $10 donation. That is awesome. As an Oilers fan, I feel really sorry for you. Thank you. I think we appreciate that. Gmon, Clay, did the Canucks give up third periods for Lent? That's good, and we got another 5 weeks of it then. Petter Hughes, when Hamonic comes back, which do you think will sit out? I think Edler should sit out. You might think Edler should sit out, but I'm certain when Hamonic comes back, Ulevy gets parked in the press box. I like Ulevy. You guys know I like Ulevy's game. Another 14 minutes solid. I think he makes smart plays all the time. But I think when Hamonic comes back, they're gonna go Hamonic, Ben, and Edler on the one side, and then flip Schmidt back to the left, and then you got Hughes, Schmidt, and Edler on the other side. I don't think it'll be Edler. Fango, when Edler retires, do the Canucks retire his jersey or put him in the Ring of Honor? No, I think you put him in the Ring of Honor. He hasn't been so amazing that he'd be a jersey retirement. I think you put him in the Ring of Honor because Matthias Olin, who I think is the best Canucks defenseman of all time, he's in the Ring of Honor as well. Toxic Fade, what would make our defense better? More speed, better passes, but you need better defense. We just need better players, quite frankly. Clay, do you have a preliminary end season record predictions for the Canucks? At this point, in 56 games, what are they now? They're like 8-13-1 or whatever. This is game number 22 or 23, right? What are they? 8-13-1? Maybe. No, they've lost twice in overtime, so they must be 8-13-2. Oh, yeah, because this is game number 23. Maybe in 56 games they wind up. They're 5 under right now. I could see them winding up like 26. No, maybe 24, 29, 3. Yeah. Even if we go like 500 for the rest of the way, 24, 29, 3 maybe. That's only 51 points, so that's obviously not going to cut it. Rickwan's not happy with that NS goal. Is it me or are there a lot of stick infractions that are let go for Edmonton? Dogwood, I wouldn't say that. Although Stu agrees. Couldn't we resign Tanev? We could have. We could have done a lot of things, but I'm not sure if they want to give him 4 years at $4.5 million. Nurse is good, Lukav, for sure. Why hasn't someone done the Steve Dangle equivalent of a Canucks fan this season? What do you mean, Proto? Do you mean like how he does his videos or just how he rants? Let me know what you mean, Proto, and I'll answer it better. Do you think that the NHL should add a cartoon sound effects when a player falls on his butt? No, Riley, I think that's a little too cartoony. What's up with JT Miller? No work ethic, no effort, very lazy even when changing. Yeah, you notice that, right? When the camera's in the neutral zone and you see him half-assing it back to the bench for sure. What to play for now when the Canucks are out of the playoffs? How motivated would Miller and others be for the rest of the regular season? Well, you still want to build a culture of winning, or at least trying, being competitive, and you want Pettersson and Hughes to want to play here going forward. So I still think you try to improve the team, or at least coach and play like you want to win still, even if you're not going to make the playoffs. Liam, thoughts on Juolevi? I thought he was fine. Solid, not spectacular, but I thought he was fine. Sheldon, in your opinion, have the Canucks let the other teams come back in the last couple games? The other team take it up a notch? I think it's both. I think the Canucks are playing tentative, and the other teams are like Edmonton. They're just too talented to not be able to come back. I'm not saying they're always going to win, and the Canucks are always going to lose, but you know that the talent's there for Edmonton for sure. Casket Brain, Quinn Hughes up for Norris Trophy? I don't agree. I've talked about this many times on the stream. He doesn't kill penalties. His plus minus is horrible. So that doesn't scream Norris Trophy defenseman. It's not who has the most points as a defenseman, as good as he's been on offense. So I would respectfully disagree that he's up for the Norris this year. Nucks fan, do you think Canucks are trying to skate the puck out of their own end too much instead of passing it out? Yeah, but I wouldn't say that necessarily. I don't think the goals tonight were based on those kind of plays. Also, given the lack of AHL, should we let some prospects like Rathbone get some NHL play? I think if the Canucks fall further out, you may start to see that. Should we trade Gaudette? Mills, you can say that, but what are we going to get for him? Does Hamhuis get Ring of Honor or jersey retirement? Definitely not jersey retirement. He might get Ring of Honor, but I don't know if he did enough in a Canucks jersey, honestly, to get even Ring of Honor. Thoughts on those Drusel punches? Yeah, that was a little weird, Chili Dog. That was a little weird for sure. And by the way, thanks again, Owen, for that generous donation. Thanks, everyone. There's almost 120 of us in here on a Tuesday night where the Canucks lost. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you'd like to. Not because the Canucks lost, but because we are able to chat. Noah, Clay, are they just playing for Tana to get his trade value up? That's one thought. You had 9 minutes of ice time, but how much up is it really going? That was horrible English. You know what I mean? Real. So what happens if Eckling doesn't want to fire Benning or Green even when they're doing bad? Then we're stuck with him. Eckling can do whatever he wants because he's the owner. Dogwood theory, because players fear suspension, they're now cross-checking. Yeah, I could see that. Gmod Clay, do you think we are comparable to the Leafs a couple of years back? Young core, but still needing pieces. Yeah, that's fair. And remember, both the Canucks and Leafs blew up their teams in 2014. And look at where the Leafs are. Granted, they haven't had any playoff success, but they're definitely a strong team right now. Rickwan, do we have any good draft picks this year? Well, we don't know what it's going to be. If you're talking about coming in the system next year, yes, I do expect Podkolzin and Rathbone to make the team. Lukav didn't like Virtanen's game. What do you think happened in the third period? I think they were tentative and Edmonton woke up. Dexter, we need Coach Green to tell Jake Virtanen that he plays well and they win and he gets to go to the Roxy. Yeah, when COVID ends, of course. Neil's talking about the 2017-18 Oilers. Welcome, Skylar. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Arjun's not happy. Nick says, I give you a lot of credit for staying positive right now. I always say moderation, right? I don't get too crazy when the Canucks win, although I'm very happy. And I don't get too down if we lose. Noah says, your t-shirt is cool. Thank you. It's a little bit tight on me now. When I was a lot skinnier, it felt a little better. If you see the picture I put on Twitter, my left breast is protruding quite loudly. I can't believe I just said that to you, but that's how honest I am with you guys. Tanker, do you think Jim Benning is not being fired because the owner's cheap and he's just waiting for his contract to expire? No, money might always be a motivating factor, but I do think Aquilini doesn't want to go back on his word, and I do think that he does like Jim Benning. I really do. Are the jerseys bad luck? I don't believe in that kind of stuff. Are you cheering for Luke Hughes to be a Canuck now? I did start to look up draft prospects, honestly, but still a long way from that. Jeff says, I do think you're a balanced and realistic and positive growth. Thank you, Jeff. But you have to be very clear on be very clear on the team shortcomings. Do you think Edler's done? I do think that we're not going to re-sign him, and I have a feeling he might retire. I don't think he wants to play on somewhere else. Thoughts on McEwen? No, I thought he had a rough game as well. -1. He had trouble clearing the puck. We remember he iced it and once and almost took a delay game penalty another time. Yeah, I don't think he had a good game. Sheldon, is there an explanation for the bad giveaways in our own zone this season? I think it's confidence and skill. It's both of those things. Dave, do you think the Canucks need to go out and find along the guys of Lucic's a big guy who can play, but everyone... Well, I don't think Lucic is doing anything this year, so no, I don't think they need a guy like that. Definitely not a fighter type guy, but you can always use big power forwards, but I don't know if Lucic would be my prototype admittedly right now. Debut Hunter, how can we best use the rest of the season to get a leg up in the competition for next year? Well, if you acknowledge that the season is going to be done, then you play guys like Rathbone now, so that they're even more ready for next year. But that's very tough to do. Remember, Travis Green, he doesn't have a contract for next year, so he obviously wants to win. He's going to ice veterans. So that's why, for instance, I think a good example is when Hamonic comes in, I think Juolevi sits as well as Juolevi's been playing. Do you think Juolevi is at best going to be a solid depth, projected top 4, but vastly underperforming for that standard? Sebastian, it's his rookie season. I think he could be a second pairing guy. No, he won't be a top pairing guy, but I think he could be a second pairing guy. I really do. 8-13-2. Thanks, Proto. Edmund, do you think Jordy Bennett is the best D partner for Hughes? I think they're going to give Hamonic another shot. I do notice that Hughes doesn't seem to be activating himself as much on rushes this season. $50 points. Jeff agrees with me. Raymond, who would you protect for the Seattle expansion draft? Sorry if you talked about this. Yeah, I think you go Demko as your goalie. On the blue line, you probably do Juolevi, who has to be protected, and Schmidt. Not sure about Myers yet. And then up front, you go Besser, Miller, Pettersson, Horvat, Mott, Cole Lind, and then that means Virtanen, McEwen, Sutter, Erickson, Beagle, Gaudette, all exposed. Do you think fans will be allowed in the arena? I do, fangirl, because that'll be October. If you're trading Miller and it had to be 1-for-1, who would you trade for? I'd want a either first round draft pick or a first or second line player back, first line player. Does Miller seem lazy because of how... I don't know his motivation, but Noah, he does not look that strong. Owen, another $3. Thank you, Owen. God bless you. Thanks very much. Save your money, Owen, but thank you. Derek asking, is his issue mental, just bad attitude? Never saw... Yeah, you hope he's not just happy when the Canucks are doing well, but maybe there's a reason why he's on his third team as well, right? New York Rangers, Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't know. Jeff, I agree that Canucks are tentative and skittish. Clay, you think hoping Demko will finish the season with the current stats of over 3 goals per game? I sure hope not, Nick, but I don't see any times of any sign of it slowing down yet. No, Riley, I do not think they should have O-Town Road as a goal song. How come Gaudette and Virtanen aren't scoring this season? Yeah, Gaudette is snake bit. At least he's getting chances. Virtanen barely gets any chances. No shots on the goal for Virtanen tonight, whereas Gaudette had 4. What a big difference. Start Holtby or Demko next game. Oh, gosh. Demko hasn't really grabbed the reins. I don't know. That's a really good question. You could argue both. Demko because you'd say he's probably been the better of the two. Holtby because Demko just lost to Edmonton. Nick, you think Hughes will finish the season with even plus minus? No, I don't. When will Puckhosen be able to play? Not until, I think, May. So I don't count on him for this season. Thought him for Virtanen winning the faceoffs tonight. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. He went 2 for 2, right? So that's good. He's got good hands. Dogwood, do the Canucks retire too many numbers? Yeah, you could argue Smeo, even Linden. Like, as much as I love Linden, yeah, no championships yet. Especially when you see Montreal or Edmonton or the LA Lakers, you see how many jerseys are up there. Cole, hear me out, Clay. Besser for Jack Eichel. Yeah, the Canucks will do that, but there's no way Buffalo does that. You think Boston's going to want Virtanen? I don't know. Toxic Fade. I really don't know. I've heard them linked. Do you think Hughes wins the Norris Trophy? Nope. I don't think he even gets nominated. Can we trade Benning? I don't know what you get back for him. Hi, do we know what position Seattle will draft at? No, I don't think we know that, Rob. Although I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Vegas after the expansion draft, didn't they draft low? Didn't they get, I don't know if they got the last pick of the first round. I don't know. Actually, I have no clue. Or I can't remember where Vegas was slotted now. Someone look it up and let me know. Gmod, no worries. You're 4 hours ahead. I'm impressed that you're here tonight. Liam, do you see big trades coming up the offseason to some big guys? Besser, Miller, Schmidt, thoughts? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to tinker around the fringes of their lineup and really count on some internal development. Which one was more painful? 2011, Nick, because I was at that game. You guys are saying he said it. Well, I'm not saying if you're talking about that I said the word breast or if I said the word ass. Always, do you think the Oilers can steal first place from the Leafs when they play 3 times in a row? Yeah, the Oilers are really hot right now. Patrick Clay, do you think we can trade for Eichel? Potential trade? Oh, so much. Eichel's a number 1 center. I think if you're not giving away Pettersson, you're basically giving away almost everyone else on your team, in all seriousness. I think it's going to take 2 or 3 players to pry Eichel out of Buffalo. I really do. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate your appreciation. Fangirl, Clay, after the draft lottery this year, can you live stream so we can talk about it? Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Carlos, does anyone else think that maybe give Virtanen a sniff on the top line to boost his confidence would work, or are you just nuts? I would never say you're just nuts, but I think that idea is nuts. Hey, Clay, will Pettersson sign with Vancouver? Yes, he will, Crystal, because as an RFA, he's really got no bargaining power, really, in the big picture. Buffalo would need a center back. Yeah, that's true, Chonger. So you if you're not trading Pettersson, you have to have Horvat in that trade with other players. Edmund thinks Hamnick should go back with Hughes. They could try it. Dexter wants to protect Gaudette over Mott, but Gaudette is a center. Nick, hey Clay, do you think the Canucks will learn valuable lessons from this season? Hopefully they'll be better than this. Young core is still pretty promising. Yeah, every game seems to be a learning thing right now. Dark Cloud likes Carlos' idea of putting Virtanen up on the top line. Horvat, Podkolzin, first round pick, another roster. Yeah, Chonger, it would take something like that. Schmidt, don't you think if we had a real tough guy, other teams would think twice over cross-checking Hoglander and Pettersson? Yeah, but Dave, I hear what you're saying. I just don't think that's enough of a deterrent. Crystal, Clay, did you ever see a fish on the ice in Vancouver? If you have, what team were we playing? I have not seen that, Crystal. Arso, hello, Arso. Even when we were up 3-0, didn't seem like there was a lot of life. Smith just gave up bad goals, went downhill. Yeah, the Canucks are just such a tentative team. They're such a tentative team. They don't go for the jugular, so to speak. Mason, the Oilers are a better team right now. Betting for a 7th round pick, says Jaskrin. Do you think they'll trade Besser? No, I don't. Wasn't their first pick Cody Glass? Yes. Actually, that's true. Cody Glass and that he went the pick after Pettersson, right? Didn't he go number 6? And then Anderson went number 7 to the Rangers. That's a great point. Vegas did pick 6. I don't know how they're given that spot. if they were in the lottery. No, that doesn't make sense. Why would they be in the lottery? I don't know. But very good. Thanks for clarifying. Yes, Vegas picked 6th. Pettersson went 5th. Very good. Dexter, I will say legitimate names, not fake names, as far as I can tell, or that the Canucks, or TANK as a verb. How's that? Yes, you did get me. I said I would never say it. Was that someone's name? Is that why? What did I say, guys? Whose name did I say? Now I have to go back and watch it again. Yes, you did get me. Evander Kane fire sale trade. I don't know. Would Kane be good? I'd be intrigued. Could the Canucks trade 1-for-1 Miller for Ehlers? I don't think that the Jets do that. Okay, there's that guy named TANK or Ace. Is that the one who said it? Can you stream after the expansion draft? Yeah, Jaskrin, I think that's a good idea. We should probably do that. Do you think Eriksson will get bought out in the offseason? I sure hope they consider it. It's the time to do it when you have 1 year left on the contract. Thoughts on the players' overall fitness? Seems like they always lack the stamina. Christian, these are professional athletes. I'm not worried about their fitness. Yes, the Canucks have played more games than everyone else, but no, I don't think that's the issue. So what frustrates you more, Clay? Jake's effort or Miller's effort? Both are becoming frustrating. Miller's effort frustrates me because we know how good he can be. Jake, I think, unfortunately, he is what you see is what you get. Jim Benning is here. Yes, Troy Miller does lose the puck a lot. Do you think Besser will be a forever Canuck? Jaskrin, no. He's the one, I think less so than Horvat, Pettersson, and Hughes. His contract, he's under the old CBA, so you got to offer him at least $7.5 million once that contract ends. So we'll see. The Canucks might walk away from that if they think it's too expensive, or if he keeps lighting up from a goal scoring perspective, then he'll be worth it. Tough to say right now. Riley, Clay, do you have a favorite flag? Do you mean nationality? Well, I'm partial to Japan. A very simple flag, if that's what you mean. Betty, Canucks trade soon? I don't know. I don't know who we trade and what we get for them. Carlos, I did look up Brant Clark as one of the guys that I saw, defenseman, right? What could Pearson fetch at the trade deadline? I'd say 2nd round draft pick. Sammy Baines was Sammy Blaze from St. Louis. That would be cool. We have Dominic Sedin in here. Who else have we had in here? That's pretty funny. We had 2 Jim Bennings last time. That was good. Did you hear about Troy Stetcher's message to Canucks fans on Cameo? Yes, Noah. I did hear that, saying that he wasn't bitter, understanding that it is a business. When should they decide to be sellers for the trade deadline? Shafeen, great question. Given that trade deadline is start of April, but you got to factor in the 2 or 3 week quarantine period, they got to decide in the next 2 weeks if they're going to be sellers, but it's going to be a buyer's market. That's the tricky part. Good question, though. Is trading for OEL still possible? I doubt it, Fillmore. I think he doesn't. Any chance that Coyotes were going to trade him, that closed in the offseason. Miller for De Kaiser probably is not going to happen. National flag, yes, I like Japan. Why are the Canucks bad? Any ideas? There has to be a reason by now. They're simply not talented enough. And if you're not talented enough, you can try hard, you can play as solid as you can, but you do not have the talent to make up for errors or lack of effort. And I'm not saying the Canucks have lack of effort, but they certainly had their fair share of errors. They're simply not good enough to make up the difference. Inferno Clay, when do you think is the next time Benning will make himself available? I don't know. He's very elusive that way for sure. Betty, Canucks rebuild. I don't know. We just went through one, right? With Pettersson and Hughes. I'm not sure if it's a rebuild, but because a rebuild to me sounds like sell, trade all your assets, even your good ones. I don't think we're there yet, but I do think there's got to be some sort of tinkering for sure. When is the 2021 NHL draft? It will be... Gosh, it has to be after the season, so it's going to be in probably August as opposed to June or July. Pearson is for sure worth the bottom 6. Thoughts? Yeah, but why would you trade a second liner for a third or fourth liner? I'd rather get a draft pick, to be honest with you. Why won't the owner do media? Shafin, I think given his track record, 1 playoff season in 7 years, that's probably why he doesn't do media. Yes, Darko, our top 6 is talented, but our bottom 6 isn't. I agree, Kevin. I agree with you. They don't need to rebuild. They need to keep adding parts. I agree. That's a good way of what I was trying to say. Filmer, the draft is July 23. Thank you, because the playoffs is supposed to end by middle of July. Expansion is July 21st. Thanks for that. Okay, we're at the 40-minute mark. I've caught up. Okay, I'll do a couple more, and then I want to ask your guys' opinion on a couple things. Rob, do you think the results would be different if fans were in the stands, as fans getting a team pump? Rob, to be honest with you, Coach Rob, no. I was in the arena, as you guys know, before I got the Vancouver Canucks in trouble with the health authority. I was in the arena. And no, the Canucks played intense. Granted, it was Ottawa, but both teams played intense. And to me, the crowd or lack of a crowd did not actually make a difference. So I don't think the results would be different, because when the Canucks go play in other arenas, it'll be the same thing. Now you're worried about the other team being the home team. So no, I don't think that makes a difference, to be honest with you. Okay, I've caught up on the questions. So thank you for all your great questions. I'm glad we had over 100 people in here for most of the thing. Really quickly, do you remember at the start of... Okay, last thing. When do you think the Canucks will mature? 2 years more? Yeah, I think 2 years from now. Dogwood, why doesn't the arena soundtrack boo when the Canucks are getting a chintzy penalty? Yeah, I think then that's borderline. I think the sound engineer... I don't know if other arenas do that. I don't think they should do that, or they would do that. All right, so Clay, do you think Aquilini won't fire Green Benning no matter what happens because of what he said? Yes, I do think he's going to stick to his word, for better or for worse. Riley Clay, what is your favorite female wrestler? I do like Asuka and Bianca Belair. Jim Benning, do you think I should quit reading Twitter? Do whatever you want, Jim. What happened with the health authority? Shafina, okay, I'll share this. And then I'll go to, this will be my last story. Then I'll go to one question, and then I will finish things off. Okay, so really quickly, I've shared the story once before. I asked permission that game I went as Marie's guest. I asked permission, can I take photos and videos and do my vlogs? And our host said yes. So we did. And I took some really cool videos and photos, shared them on Twitter. And then even like we had guys from the media, Chris Faber, Patrick Johnson, Rob, the hockey guy, they were actually tweeting about me saying this is the first time they've heard fans in the arena, because I was so loud, right? I was so passionate, cheering, booing, screaming. And then did my post-game vlog from there, not live stream, but post-game vlog. Then the next day, the host from the Canucks actually called and asked me if I would remove. He was very apologetic, but he asked me if I would take all my social media down. I said, yeah, no problem. You know, I don't do it for the likes or for the subs. I was blessed to be in the arena, right? In an empty arena. I was one of 4 fans in the arena. So I took it down. He was very apologetic because he did give me permission. I said, it's fine. But apparently, he didn't say it was one of my posts, but it likely was, because I was the one posting that night. Marie barely did anything posting-wise. And apparently, Health Authority caught wind of it. So it didn't help that some prominent media guys were also retweeting my tweets and stuff. So I think, I don't know this for sure, but my guess is that the Health Authority caught wind of the fact that Canucks had guests there or fans there, even though I was wearing my mask the whole time, even though Marie and I sat at least 6 feet apart because we're not in the same bubble. Obviously, we're not family. We're good friends. We did everything right, but still, I think the Health Authority was questioning why the Canucks had non-employees in there. And it was only 4 of us. It was me and Marie. Marie is the anthem singer, me is the guest, and then it was the person who cranks the horn, the health worker, and then they had a guest. They were actually sitting closer, but they're in the same bubble. They're boyfriend and girlfriend. So all to say, I had no problem taking the footage down. I didn't complain. I didn't want to get the Canucks in trouble. It sounds like they didn't get in trouble, but rather they got a slap on the wrist. Not even a slap on the wrist. A warning or a talking to, or a reminder, maybe is a better way to put it, from the Health Authority. Okay, so I hope that was worth it. That was like a 2-minute dissertation on what happened when I went to the Canucks game. Al's girl, thanks for being here, Kim. So nice to see you. So yeah, I just finished all the questions part. So really quickly, just would love your feedback very quickly. Yeah, how do I say this without sounding like I'm pandering for affirmation? No, I've made my decision. Just tell me if you understand what I was getting at when I talked at the start about how instead of doing a quick 2-minute post-game recap just for the sake of Twitter and using that as my YouTube post-game recap, to take more time to do a better, more thorough post-game recap before coming on here. But then that means before I come on here for my live stream, I can't get here 10 or 15 minutes after the game ends. Rather, I will do it 25 minutes after the game ends, right on the dot of the hour. So a 7 o'clock game, 10 o'clock live stream, 4 o'clock game, 7 o'clock live stream. Just gives me more time, and then it makes me do a better post-game recap. So that's all. So you don't even have to say anything, actually. That's kind of my reasoning. And then I did say really quickly that I do understand that there's potential to lose people to Rob Fay. If I'm going to lose people to Rob Fay, I'm going to lose people to Rob Fay. He's a professional, media person. Whereas I'm very grateful. We've had a couple streams. Even tonight, we had 120 people. So the decimation of my post-game live stream has not come to be. So hope that all makes sense. Okay. Lastly, let's do 3 minutes of non-Canucks and non-hockey related questions starting right now. So I'll answer it again. Thanks to everyone for the feedback. Non-Canucks, non-hockey related questions. We will go for 3.5 minutes. Betty likes my shirt. Thank you. Chong or Rob Fay doesn't read my question, so he can say, I think he's got like 7 or 8 times more people in there than I do, though. But thank you. Dogwood, thanks for that. But yeah, I'm okay. What mic you got? It is a Uhuru. Uhuru. It's my kids bought it for me for Christmas, which is kind of cool. Favorite ice cream flavor? Strawberry. Height 5'6". Are you much fan of DQ ice cream? Yeah, I like their sundaes. Is Edmonton better than Vancouver? Not the city, but their hockey team, yes. Riley, I don't think you have much luck talking to Asuka, to be honest with you. Send her a message. I don't know. Was that the first time you got in trouble at a game? True, yeah. And that's barely trouble. It was more of a call the next day. Yeah, but I'm pretty good when I go to games. I'm not a troublemaker. How many instruments do you play? I'd say I'm a pianist and I'm a drummer. I can play the drums. I used to play the saxophone. I can play guitar a bit. I can play the bass guitar, clarinet, but really actual instruments, I'd say piano and drums. Rob Fay does end before me, but he does start about half an hour before me. Fay, the horse races? No, I haven't. Thank you, Clay Fan, for a comment. If you travel back in time and point in history, where or when would you go? Oh, that's a good question. 90s, just so I can, relive some of the best music in history. How's that? That was probably a weak answer. Well, I wouldn't want to go to any of the world wars. So yeah, maybe the 90s too, because maybe I was at my peak physically at that time. What happened with the Canucks? I saw the tail end of that rant. I was just talking about Kim when I went to the game live, and I was blessed to be one of 4 fans in the game, and they asked me to take down my social media the next day. Country you have traveled to the most, country you want to travel to the most that you haven't yet? Oh, that's a good question. I would love to go to Paris. France is the country. I'd like to go to France, take my wife to France for sure. Interesting. I know there was a question a few chats ago. Where in Europe have you been? And I only said Rome. I forgot. I've been to Poland and I've been to England as well. So I've been to 3 countries. All right, I better speed up real quick. Oh, there's so many now. I'll try and go really fast. Favorite cuisine except for Japanese? Italian. Is John Cena the GOAT? Yeah, he's pretty good. I don't think he's the greatest of all time though. Edmonton Mall or Metrotown Mall? Let's go Edmonton. Do you think Hogliners should try the first PP unit? Yeah, why not? Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that, Daniel Bryan, and thanks for the comment on the shirt. Do you have a favorite cartoon? No, I wasn't really into cartoons that much. admittedly. Were you in a band? Yes, I was in a boy band. We sang, we danced, and we did R&B type tunes. Nathan, thanks for that. Tips for studying when you feel unmotivated. Just power through. Take a lot of breaks. Spread it out. Yeah, so I was lagging. It's too bad because I was bragging about how I'm using Ethernet, but it might be something in my settings. Top 3 sushi rolls. Sushi rolls, or just, if it's rolls, I like volcano. I like standard salmon maki dynamite roll. If it's sushi overall, I like salmon sashimi, torch salmon nigiri, and stuff like that. Yeah, sorry you guys are lagging. I don't know why. I have to try and fix that. Oh, thanks, Kim, for that. I felt like I was on a Steve Dangle rant after the game. Very good. I don't say the T word, or at least I try not to. What sports have you played? Competitively, basketball, volleyball, bowling, touch football, roller hockey. This is not at a high level, but I like playing all sports. I like golf. I like tennis. Really softball as well. So I've tried a lot of sports. Not so much good in the water though, but I do like that. Do you watch the hockey guy? No, I don't. Respect what he does though, but no, I don't watch him. Favorite chocolate bar to eat? Anything plain, like Jersey milk or caramel. Have you ever skated on Rogers Arena? Yes, I have a couple times. Once to film a music video actually, which is pretty cool. Do you work out no, I don't. I think you're trying to be nice, Clay fan. How do you slow down McDavid? You just stay in front of him. Favorite cuisine, Japanese. You've been lagging ever since you started using Streamlabs. Yeah, I've been lagging. I used to stream off my phone, but now I'm using a camera and a mic and stuff like that. So I have to figure that out for sure. Favorite cousin? All my cousins. All right, very good, you guys. It is 52 minutes in. Thanks for being here. My talk with Andrew Walker was supposed to happen last night, but he was sick. Actually, he wasn't even on the air. So we've rescheduled that to tomorrow. So that will be up on my channel on Thursday. And by the way, thanks for your great feedback on my What Were They Thinking. I ended up doing one of those last night, and that was Pettersson's between the legs no look goal as well. So check that out if you haven't seen that as well. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna figure out this lag thing. Maybe it's something in my settings, but overall, I think we've been okay. And I appreciate you being here, even after a Canucks loss. So before you go, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video if you haven't liked this video already. And I want to thank all the new subscribers and the donations. Raybro with $1, nucksfan with 10, Owen TV with the combined 10 as well. I appreciate you guys. So thanks for being here. I'll see you Thursday night after the game. Thursday morning, look for my chat with Andrew Walker. Look for a regular vlog tomorrow. And we'll see where we go from here. So thanks again for being here. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Join this channel as a member if you'd like to. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great night. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah!